Understanding climate change is not something that fits neatly into one box or into one subject. Sustainability is a key learning outcome in the junior cycle, but it doesn't belong to one subject or one project. At Temple Carrig, we are attempting to mirror what happens in the real world. So we have teachers here from science, geography, philosophy, that are all getting together, and maths, to work on a collaborative CBA in second year. Students normally in second year have about 8 or 9 projects to do, but what we're proposing is that we have one sustainability project across 3 or 4 subjects.
I think there's great advantage for students to do cross-curricular projects when it comes to issues like climate change. Climate change is an example of a problem that requires multiple perspectives. It's not an easy thing to fix. And so when we think of school, normally we think of all those individual subjects and we don't think of them really crossing over. But climate change is a really good space for them to bring them together so they can think about issues related to climate from lots of different perspectives, bringing the best of all of them, developing knowledge and developing skills for each of the subjects and bringing them together in a real world context.
So assessing a cross-curricular project like this can be a little bit tricky, but it involves so many key skills, including research, critical thinking, sustainability knowledge, and also experiments. So for example, we're using different stimuluses, field trips to local areas to inspire students to come up with their own ideas and their own solutions in their community.
So today we're out at Greystones Beach. They're already learning about climate change and the coastline and the impacts that climate change are going to have on our coastlines. So today we have them out in the fields. They're measuring the rates of sediment transport along the beach. They're looking at different types of erosion, and we're looking at different coastal protection strategies as well. It's really important for them to look at their local area, because actually this is where they're going to see the impacts first. And I think a lot of the time people are quite maybe removed from the impacts of climate change. So when you can see it in your local area, it makes it a little bit more real.
When we were on the beach, I saw the climate change on the cliff, and it made me realise that it's like close to us and it's going to be affecting us in the next few years instead of like off somewhere far away.
I know everybody's way of learning is different, but for me especially, I think rote learning is quite difficult. How I learn is by actually understanding, and I think interactive learning is a great way of doing that.
I think to work together, if we're all working on the same thing, we're all going to get more done instead of trying to work individually. If we can all like push it as one, then the whole project is just going to really make a difference and people are going to hear about it more.
What struck me when I was talking to the students about the work they're doing here in Temple Carrig was how passionate they were about the subjects and the topics they were interested in, and how many of them connected what they were doing to their local environment, to the beach, to the farming communities that they come from, to the materials that make up their mobile phones. So they were taking their world and thinking about it in a climate context, and they were really keen and passionate about it. And that's infectious, to talk to people that care about what they're doing.
I've really noticed from working with these groups in second year how much joy they bring to learning, and I really feel like the future is in safe hands.